Here at the Paleofauna Project, we hope to bring you the most intimate and fascinating live footage of our animals for the world to witness. For our first program, we'll be delving into the secretive life of one very special dromaeosaurid called Vectiraptor. Being highly elusive and skittish, Vectiraptor rarely sits still for long and must always keep itself busy. Here you can see a young female dashing through the trees and bushes effortlessly. Long, muscular legs help the dromaeosaurid in navigating most terrain. Many Vectoraptors seem to take a liking to thick forested areas with large trees, like here in Twisted Forest. Being one of the most swift and agile predators in the reserve, it would almost seem to most that Vectoraptor could fly. But maybe they should leave that skill to the pterosaurs. Vectoraptors are not only swift and agile, they are also very hard workers. Here you can see this brightly colored young male building himself a nest on the cliffside. Being very meticulous, this young male takes great care and pride in all of his work. But with all this hard work comes with very messy plumage, which the Vectoraptors will simply not tolerate. Taking care of their plumage is very important and it helps to keep their feathers sleek and shiny. For males in particular, it may help them to better stand out from other males in the area. However, this male seems too focused on his nest to find love. However, he doesn't yet realize that he is being watched. A younger female, nicknamed Robin by our staff team, has been watching over this striking blue male for days now, but hasn't quite got the courage to approach him. Females are much more skittish and prone to spooking than the males. But overall, this species is well known for being quite easily frightened by any sudden movements or loud sounds. Once the male leaves, however, Robin nervously but quickly takes the opportunity to get an easy meal from this male's kill, but still being watchful for any predators that can easily frighten her off of this meal. As she feasts, her sharp hearing helps her to detect the slightest sounds in her environment. Now properly fed, she takes a few moments to fully swallow her meal before choosing to relax and shake the dust off of her feathers. While the male's gone, she also takes this opportunity to take a closer look of his nesting area. However, upon hearing the sound of the male returning, Robin quickly flees the vicinity before the male spots her near his nest. Even if this species is known for being easily intimidated by most other animals, this young male seems to be a bit more bold than most others of his kind, opting for a more bold approach when dealing with pesky predators around his nesting territory. Being highly territorial, Vectoraptors do not tolerate any unwanted visitors to their territories, so will try and attempt to chase off most smaller animals away from their nests. But many individuals may struggle to deal with anything that is much larger than themselves. But it seems this young male has a lot of experience when dealing with annoying pets such as this Silosaurus. Using his speed and agility to his advantage, he runs rings around the Silosaurus as it tries but fails each and every time to land a bite on the male. Robin's curiosity of this young male eventually becomes too big to ignore and she finally approaches for a closer inspection. As she approaches, she can't help but send out a few calls to announce her arrival to the male. But it seems that the male isn't curious about her at all. and seems more focused on trying to get his nesting material back to his nest, but each and every time failing to climb up the large tree branch. The female continues to watch him try but fail to jump up onto the tree branch. She tries to get a closer look to why this male is struggling. As she takes notice of the male's struggles, she then quickly jumps onto a tree branch from her side to show him how it's done. But the male is simply too focused on getting his nest done to notice her trying to help him. This behavior is very common in male Vectiraptors, as males take great pride in their crafts and will sometimes fail to notice events happening around them. After such an eventful day, Robin decides to head back to her nest to roost. In the next episode, we'll find out more about these fascinating animals from our past. Stay tuned. In the second episode of Vectiraptor Life, will Robin finally succeed in her search for love? Or will that male prove to be too much of a challenge even for her? Keep watching to find out. In the early morning, most Vectiraptors start their day with a quick meal for themselves. Prey for Vectiraptor can vary depending on an individual's preference. Rodents, small lizard, or for our bold male, even a large snake or monitor lizard will do just fine for him. After her morning meal, Robin decides to sit down and watch the male getting himself a meal. As she watches him day after day, it would almost seem that the more that he ignores her efforts, the more her interest for him grows with each day that passes. She has attempted many times in the past few weeks trying to gain his attention, but each and every time fails to catch his eye even once. However, with time and patience, she may eventually be able to win him over. Over the next few weeks, Robin tries countless times to gain the blue male's attention, but alas, to no avail. It seems that the male just isn't interested in her at all, and all this rejection can quickly become quite disheartening to the young female. The male decides to take a quick break from his territorial duties and get himself a drink. While he is drinking, Robin carefully watches over him from a high ledge. With the female still hot on his trail, the young male realizes that she will not give up on him that easily. As Robin continues to follow the young male continues trying to patrol his territory borders. Robin, however, keeps trying to gain his affections, but grows more and more frustrated by the minute trying to do so. But she'll still not give up on trying to win his heart.